Well, one of the prettiest sights in all of baseball, the Roberto Clemente Bridge, looking at it from downtown Pittsburgh across the Allegheny River and PNC Park. Rockies opening up a 3-game set against Clint Hurdle's Pirates. They're currently in second in the very, very competitive and top-heavy NL Central Division, where the Cardinals lead. The Cubs are playing great baseball. They're in third place. The Rockies getting ready to go. This is the last team the Rockies have not seen in the National League. And obviously, likewise for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Late in August, and neither one of these teams have played each other.
I can't remember waiting so long in a season to play a team. August 28th, and this is the first time you're seeing them.
It is a perfect night. We have been very fortunate on this road trip because it can get quite warm, as you may know, in Atlanta, Georgia in August, and even in Pittsburgh in August. And it has been basically fairly cool, cloudless days, beautiful evenings, and we're set for baseball. Jose Reyes will lead things off tonight. Let's show you the starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And Walt Weiss will have Reyes in the top spot against the left-hander Francisco Liriano. DJ will bat second, and Nolan Arenado, who's had 2 full days off. He was off on Wednesday, yesterday an off day. Cargo's batting fourth. Nick Hundley will bat fifth in this lineup. Then Matt McBride at first base. Kyle Parker in left field. Brandon Barnes will patrol center field. He had a 3-hit day on Wednesday in Atlanta. And John Gray on the mound for the 5th time in his young major league career. Francisco Liriano has been a godsend for the Pirates, and though he may have pitched better his first 3 months this year, in his last 10 ball games, the Pirates are 10-0.
And he's 5-0 with a 3.19 ERA, so not too shabby for Francisco Liriano. He's getting a lot of run support during that time, over 7 runs a ball game. But for the Buccos and Liriano, when he goes out there, he's just a 3-pitch mix type of pitcher, fastball, slider, changeup. But they feel pretty good, especially when you look at his numbers, a 200 average against left-handers, 221 against right-handers. The fastball, 47% of the time, slider and changeup. Look early on in this ball game, if he's not commanding the fastball, he'll immediately go to the off-speed to try to get those working and then maybe move back to the fastball.
He's a little bit like Tommy Kahnle that way. Sometimes he'll use the changeup more than the fastball to throw strikes. And a little bit of news on Tommy Kahnle we'll share with you in a moment. But first things first, Tommy Kahnle will step in, or excuse me, Jose Reyes will step in against Francisco Liriano. Here's our big hit presented by Mako. Turn the car you drive into the car you love. Against the Braves, this is a 2-run triple off the bat of Jose Reyes on Wednesday as the Rockies would prevail 6-3. They pounded out 11 hits and taking 2 of 3 from the Braves. First time the Rockies had won 2 consecutive games in Atlanta since 2002. So hopefully that will provide some momentum for Colorado tonight. And Liriano's first pitch is in there, strike 1. I think back a few years ago, what a contrast. Now you get big crowds in Pittsburgh a few years ago when they were still struggling. That was not the case.
Just walking around town today, and you always think of this as being a Pittsburgh Steelers town, and it still is, no doubt about it. But walking around, I saw a lot more like Andrew McCutchen jerseys and Neil Walker jerseys, and everybody's excited about Pittsburgh.
And well, they should. It's now 3 straight years they have been one of the best teams in baseball. And Clint Hurdle's now flying up the charts in terms of managerial wins with Pittsburgh.
7th all time.
Jose Reyes bounces it to first, and Pedro Alvarez has it for out number 1. Let's take a look at the Pirates defensively. They have not been stellar defensively. Starling Marte is a good outfielder. Andrew McCutchen, he does everything well. Gregory Polanco's in right field. He's got a big arm. And then it's Jung-Ho Kang at third base. He plays some shortstop. He's been very, very good for them. Jordy Mercer's healthy again. He's at shortstop. Neil Walker's got 7 errors at second. And maybe the biggest issue of all is Pedro Alvarez at first base. He's no longer a third baseman. He's made 18 errors. Haven't heard of that number for a first baseman prior.
That's why they have 92 errors as a ball club. They're sit 13th in the National League in fielding percentage at .982, but 18 errors is really just unacceptable, whether it's fielding or throwing. He's had his issues with both.
Francisco Cervelli is behind the plate. The former backup with the Yankees has found a home here, and he has excelled offensively and defensively for Clint Hurdle's Pirates.
He's put his foot down in that spot and said, I'm going to take this position and I'm going to run with it.
Sometimes he's put his foot down with umpires, and that hasn't worked out so well.
Like last night?
Yeah, like last night, he got run by Alan Porter in the third inning. You see what he's doing there? He may ask where a pitch is, and you can turn your head or be facing forward and have a conversation. But when you turn around, that's ball 4 on LeMahieu. When you turn around, as he did last night, he literally did a 180 to argue a call from Alan Porter that was called on a pitch that was called a ball. Immediately when you do that, you're showing up the umpire, and Alan Porter ran him very shortly thereafter. Third time this year he's been ejected.
Well, he holds the pitch, thinks it's a strike. It was called a ball, and now he turns around. That's a no-no. It will get you tossed out, and says, okay, hit the showers early. I'm not gonna stand for it. And that's what you learn in rookie ball, maybe even back in high school.
Now Clint did not get ejected. He stayed there and argued for quite a while with Alan Porter. He has gotten ejected before defending Francisco Cervelli, and he said, I think each time it's been the third inning.
That's why he said, Clint said, I had to stay in the game last night. I couldn't get run again.
Here's Arenado with DJ at first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And after 5 straight balls, that's fouled off. Arenado's 3 for 6 lifetime against Francisco Liriano. So Walt, with the talented left-hander on the hill, slides a right-handed bat Arenado to the 3 spot. Nolan's primarily been hitting cleanup since the Tulowitzki trade, and Cargo's batted third. Cargo's on deck. That's inside. This is a very fair ballpark. Probably tougher on right-handed hitters. You really got to get a hold of one unless you pull it right down the line to hit it out.
4-10 into the left center field gap. A little where it goes back behind. Out by the bullpens. I think for this ballpark where it's easier is from the high right field Roberto Clemente height, the 21 foot and over towards the line.
And that wall that Jeff mentioned is exactly 21 feet to honor the great Roberto Clemente. That's outside. And it's 3-2.
We'll have a little bit more about Roberto Clemente from Mark Stout later in the game on Fan Friday.
DJ at first, 3-2, not going, and it's fouled off. And as we mentioned, there's Cargo waiting to hit.
The only left-handed bat in the lineup today. Walsh just given Charlie a day off, and you have the left-hander Liriano on the mound.
Inside, and that's back-to-back walks. So Liriano has walked LeMahieu and Arenado, and 2 on for Cargo. Who wants tacos? If the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies tacos special. Live Mas at Taco Bell. Well, Liriano, his last 4 outings, Jeff, even though they've been victories for the Pirates, he's had an ERA above 5. His whip is around 1.78 in those 4 games. He's walked a lot more folks of late, and tonight he starts out by walking 2 of the first 3.
12 in the last 4 games to be exact, and that's what's gotten him in trouble. But the higher whip, putting more guys on base.
See if Cargo can ambush him. That misses. Carlos 0 for 7 lifetime against the former Twin, Francisco Liriano, 31-year-old. Got to the big leagues in a hurry back in 2005.
In September of that year, September 5th to be exact.
That's a called strike. Liriano in his first full season with the Twins went 12-3 with a 2.16 ERA. 28 games, 16 starts that year. And then the next year he had to sit and watch. He had Tommy John surgery. And Cargo loops one that is gloved there by Mercer.
And where Jordy Mercer was positioned with Cargo up, he had to run a long way and stretch out to get this soft line drive. Right behind DJ at second base. DJ wisely just freezing on that line drive. If it drops in, the best you're going to get is third anyway. So DJ recognized that, stayed put.
That'll bring up Nick Hundley. Hundley 0 for 2 in his matchups with Liriano. DJ takes off for third, and he will swipe it standing up. So for LeMahieu, that is his 19th stolen base. He's been caught only 3 times, and that's one he has to be absolutely sure he's going to get there.
And he was. There's nobody holding him on. He's got a walking lead. He even stopped for a brief second, and they got the walking lead again. Get on that blind spot of the left-handed pitcher.
Nick hold up, no swing. They check it at first with Corey Blazer. Chris Caccioni's behind home plate. Corey Blazer at first. A couple of young men from Colorado. Jeff Nelson is the crew chief. Jeff's at second, and Laz Diaz is at third. And Hundley lifts this ball to fairly deep right field, but Polanco's going to have a play. And despite the 2 walks, Liriano able to work out of it. We'll see the Rockies starter John Gray when we come back. Night in Pittsburgh, and it'll be Gregory Polanco leading things off. The Pirates arrived in the middle of the night last night from Miami because they played a night game against the Marlins, won 2-1. Took 3 of 4 down in South Florida. Here's the Southwest Airlines order tonight for Clint Hurdle. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Starling Marte bat second. Former MVP Andrew McCutchen will bat third. And then a kid that's really made a name for himself coming from South Korea, Jung Ho Gung. Neil Walker will bat fifth. He's got some pop. Cervelli's having a great year offensively. Pedro Alvarez hit his 21st last night. Jordy Mercer in the 8th spot. And Liriano. John Gray's completed his warm-up pitches, and he is ready to go.
5th start of the year for John. It'll be a 2nd start out on the road. The last one was glorious in New York when he just dominated the Mets. We'll see a repeat of that tonight.
And the first pitch to the ball game is in there for strike one. 0-1 on Polanco. 266 average for Polanco, but he's been swinging the bat very well. Batting .343 with 3 home runs here in the month of August. Waved at that. It's 0-2.
The Rockies will go into more of the shift, moving everybody over once they get to 2 strikes. Not unusual. Rockies are one of the leaders in shifts this year.
Well, they're 1-2 at the Pirates. Rockies now lead. That misses. And the Pirates are second in defensive shifts in the National League. Rockies have slowly climbed that category to the top. You know, early on they were somewhat middle of the road, and then they were 4th for a while, and now they are number 1 in the National League. League leaders are brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers, and here's that list. So the Rockies ahead of Pittsburgh in defensive shifts, then a couple of other teams from the NL West, the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Philadelphia is 5th.
Way down at 364 shifts for Philadelphia. It's a huge drop off, even being in the top 5.
1-2. And that's fouled off. That was a changeup. John's fastball is interesting, Huey. It'll range from 90 even sometimes all the way up to 99.
And when it's 95 or below, so far it's an early sample size, but the batting average against is 385. When it goes to 96 and above, it drops way down to 158.
Strike 3. So a good start for John Gray. One out, and that'll bring up Marte. Here's the defense for the Rockies. Parker at left, Brandon Barnes in center, Cargo is in right. Arenado, Reyes, LeMahieu with Matt McBride taking his turn at first base. Nick Hundley's behind the plate. Marte 8 for 19 lifetime against the Rockies in 8 ball games. And that's a good looking pitch. Called the ball just inside at 94. Had a little tail on it. Down in the zone. This ball's in the air to left center field. And it's caught out there by Brandon Barnes. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Andrew McCutchen, as you'd like to see him with nobody on base.
One of the top guys driving in runs, so anytime you can see him with nobody out there, but still one of the most dynamic players in the game.
He's one of the 3 or 4 best players all around in the game of baseball. He can hit it over the wall. He can hit for average. He's a clutch hitter, as you were discussing. He's a marvelous defender. He's a great teammate. He's everything you want in a player.
Remember back in April when he's hitting below 200, everybody, oh, what's wrong with Andrew McCutchen? Something's got to be wrong. Maybe it's because he cut off all his hair. I don't know. Every sort of reasoning behind it.
Well, I'll tell you what, and I remember that.
But the numbers come back to where they come back. Always.
When a guy has established himself, water always finds its level. And I bet you when the season concludes, the regular season, he will be prominent in the MVP conversation once again.
And he should be.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. He's playing on a terrific team. 3 years in a row, he's been in the top 3 in the MVP voting in the National League. And of course, 2 years ago, he won it. And he has more RBIs this year than the year he won it.
Only Mike Trout and he are the only 2 guys in the last 3 years to finish in the top 3 in the MVP voting.
The thing I like about John Gray is I know there's 2 outs. It's the first inning. There's nobody on. He just dialed up 96. He knows who's up.
Going after him, yeah. He knows about Andrew McCutchen. If he didn't hear about it in the scouting report, everybody knows about it.
Here's the 1-2. Slider back up the middle, a base hit.
Slider away from Andrew McCutchen. Watch out. Getting close to hitting John. Very controlled swing. But the one thing McCutchen's not doing as much this year, he's not running as much.
No, just 10 stolen base attempts. He's been successful 6 times. That's inside on Jung Ho Kang. One thing I know you like, when you look at a guy's lead, it is consistent not only in where he is in relation to first base, but also how he sets up. He's not giving away that he's not running. Right now you think he may go. And
that's what you have to honor.
It's not the hands on the knees. He takes off right there. Huntley's throw is low. And on the second pitch, he did take off and swipe second. So Andrew McCutchen with his 7th stolen base.
Good jump from McCutchen. Throw late going in there, but that was stolen on John. Just a little bit higher leg kick. 150th career stolen base.
Just a tremendous talent. And this guy at the plate has done wonders for the Pirates. 2-0 count on Kang. 3-0. They scouted him. He was playing professionally in South Korea. And all of the Pirates scouts who saw him rated him very high, felt like he would eventually be an impact starter in the big leagues. Well, he makes the team, and they're finding places for him here and there. And then they had some injuries, and he's playing every day at shortstop for Jordy Mercer. And he's hitting. This ball's lobbed into right field. Cargo's coming quickly. He's not going to get there, but it's foul, fortunately. Kang's thrown out 12 home runs, hitting .289 coming in, 46 RBIs. I feel like his best defensive position is probably the one he's playing tonight at third.
Well, with Jordy Mercer back, it makes their defense stronger. Just fouled by a couple inches. That ball was slicing. You knew Cargo wasn't going to be able to get there. You were just hoping it went foul, and it did.
Gray trying to put the inning down. Bottom of the first, no score. And that fastball's fouled off. Three-two, and the fastball is looped to shallow right. It'll drop and it'll score McCutchen. And it's 1-0 Pittsburgh.
'47th RBI for Kang. Driving in McCutchen. Now that stolen base. Into the scoring position allows him to score on this bloop hit. The pitch was in. That was good, but where it was not. It was up by the waist. Those are the easiest pitches for a hitter to try to fight off. You can get your hands to those pitches pretty easy. You just pull them in closer to your body, and that's where you get the flare.
Neil Walker's at the plate. So McCutchen with that base hit on the slider and then swiping second. They have speed up top. Polanco 21 stolen bases, Marte 25 stolen bases, and then of course McCutchen. Could beat you in a lot of ways, this Pirate team. That's why they're 28 games above 500.
Still trailing the Cardinals by 4.5 games going into tonight.
You know, if they were in the East or the West, they would lead those divisions comfortably with their record.
They do have a 4-game lead in the wild card over another National League Central team, the Cubs.
And all the teams in the Central, you know, if they play scoreboard, it's like, okay, whatever you do, we're going to do. And they've all been winning. That's what they've been doing. I mean, all three of those teams, night after night, have won. They've played very good baseball here in the second half.
Pirates have won 16 out of the last 21. Cardinals have pretty much kept pace with that.
And same thing with the Cubs. And Walker strikes out to end the inning. Second strikeout for Gray, but a couple of singles and a stolen base produce a run for the Pirates. 1-0.
Another Fan Friday, so we want you to use the hashtag Fan Friday and tweet us at @sports_RM. We'll do something a little bit different today. Since we had an off day here in Pittsburgh, got a chance to go to the Clemente Museum, the Roberto Clemente Museum, and you see some of the memorabilia that is there. It's basically at 33rd and Penn here in downtown Pittsburgh. The late, great Hall of Famer is highlighted here, things he did on and off the field. And what we want you to tweet us tonight is maybe a picture of a player that you met, you got an autograph with, somebody that impacted you, or maybe a legendary player you wish you could have seen in person. So at @sports_RM, hashtag Fan Friday, use that. Think about it, and we'll get some of your tweets, your Instagram photos, Facebook stuff on the air as we go back to Drew and Jeff. Guys?
All right, Mark, and they've had some iconic figures to play for this franchise over the last century plus. And none larger on or off the field than the late, great Roberto Clemente. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt McBride here in the top of the second, and Liriano goes off speed, and that's in there. It's 1-2 on Matt. Matt's in a state he knows well, PA. Went to college in eastern portion of the state at Lehigh. Pennsylvania kid. And there's that slider underneath the hands.
Ow. Not saying that. That didn't feel good. Whether I'm on the east part of the state or the west side.
One and two. And he struck him out on a slider down. First strikeout for Liriano.
Yeah, 84 mile an hour slider for Liriano. Broke about 5 or 6 inches in a late breaker.
Want to know on Kyle Parker. He swings and misses. A ball and a strike on Kyle.
They have a pretty neat thing here on their scoreboard down the lines where they can show the speed of the pitch, the horizontal break, the vertical break. So it gives you a really nice picture of what it looks like to the hitter.
I think you probably see that more and more in ballparks, and we're going to start adding it. I know in broadcast coming up, and probably next year with
that
some of those.
Like that last pitch, the vertical break was 9 inches.
And that will probably be very similar. Another strikeout for Liriano.
Yeah, 7 inches on that vertical break.
That'll bring up Brandon Barnes with 2 outs and nobody on. Brandon had a big day on Wednesday, and this was huge. Got a hanging curveball and a lengthy at bat and hit it out. A 2-run home run, his second of the year. And that gave the Rockies some breathing room as they would win 6-3 over the Braves.
Well, they extended the lead from 4-3 to 6, and just helps John Axford when he's going out there to feel like he's not walking that tightrope when he steps on the hill.
Now, Liriano, this inning's got it all going. He's got the slider going. That was a changeup that moved away from Barnes, who was studying Liriano.
That's the last thing you want to see. A starting pitcher, no matter who it is, but somebody that with the pedigree of Liriano to find that rhythm, to get into it with 3 pitches.
That's a slider, and it's hit in the air to McCutchen. Quick inning for Francisco Liriano, middle of 2, 1-0 Pirates. Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. You know what? I think this is beautiful. Not only the video shot here on the kayak, the Allegheny River with PNC Park in the distance. It's that Mike and Jared spent their off-day canoeing together. And that builds camaraderie when the next day they're spending 10 hours together in the truck.
We did that in Cincinnati a few years back. Remember when we went kayaking down the, what was it, Little Ohio?
I missed that. I wasn't there that trip.
You weren't. No. But Mike was there. Doug was there. So one of these off days,
we're going to go kayaking. Cervelli at the plate with a 1-strike count against John Gray. Yeah, you and I played golf, and now we evened up our week, didn't we? And I knew you wanted to make mention of that, so we'll get that out of the way right now.
Did I beat you yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
0-1 in Pennsylvania, 1-0 in Georgia. This ball's hit well to center field, and it'll stay up for Barnes.
Nice break on the baseball by Brandon. Playing center field tonight. Doesn't matter what position he plays.
Well, his favorite, and I think most outfielders are this way, his favorite to play is center.
I don't want to say it's the easiest, but the reads coming off the bat, a little truer read.
And he's played center field in 2012 and 2013 here at PNC Park. A lot of room in left center field where it moves out to 410 feet. That little nook around the bullpen areas. Here's Pedro Alvarez. Homered last night, and that provided the difference in the game. It made it 2-0, and they ended up winning 2-1 last night. Alvarez.
And what a home run it was. It went out to dead center field in Miami.
Which is what, 424 out there?
Yeah, and a high wall.
And a high wall. He hit that thing a mile. He is a strong dude. In fact, Clint Hurdle's quoted as saying that the only guy who may have more raw power that he sees in the National League is Stanton. I'd put Cargo in that category also.
And Stanton's due to come back soon, but off the left-hander, Pedro Alvarez went over the top wall out into the shrubbery in center field.
And he's gone as John Gray climbs the ladder and gets his 3rd strikeout. So John punches out Alvarez, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
That was an impressive pitching performance. And now, with John making his start tonight, Colorado's tied with Philadelphia, having 10 guys with 5 or more starts.
Well, and we can talk about it and probably show this graphic any year. And the Rockies, Philadelphia, Miami all struggling in terms of wins and losses, and Steve Foster looks on. And if you are forced to make that many changes in your rotation, whether because of injury or lack of success, you're probably, from a team standpoint, going to struggle also. This ball on the ground to third. Nolan's got it, and he throws out Mercer. Yep, McBride stayed on the bag. So it is a 1-2-3 second inning for John Gray. 1-0 as we go to the third. The Pirates in front on the blue single by Gunn.
the hashtag Fan Friday and tweet us at @RootsSports_RM. And we're going to start with a picture that is just too cute. Yes, wearing purple with pride, but lots of love for number 21. Went to visit the Clemente Museum, and there's a purple cargo jersey as well. That's from Allison. So if you've got a picture that kind of pays tribute to a legend in the game, or maybe you met somebody, met a Rocky, just hit us up at @RootsSports_RM and use the hashtag Fan Friday.
Hey, so Mark, real quick, is there one person that you would have liked to see but didn't get the chance to?
Oh, man, there's so many. My dad used to talk about Dick Allen all the time, and that he could really hit a baseball.
Dude, you're my age. You saw Richie Allen.
I didn't see him play.
Like in person?
No, like in person. I'm talking about seeing in person. Did you?
I may have when they played the Mets. I'm
Mickey
not sure.
Mantle, I didn't see in person. I'd always
want
to see the Mick.
Yeah, I don't even remember watching.
Saw Brooks Robinson on TV, I guess, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
In person, okay.
You know, when you really get to, I'll never forget the first time I saw Doc Gooden pitch.
Special.
Right.
Unless you were standing in the box.
Well, that was your problem.
That was my
not
problem.
right, Huey. It's good for us.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. Boy, you were like everybody else. You really stunk on the days he pitched.
I did. Joined all the other guys that were really bad that day.
Get in line. 2-2 on Gray. That reminds me as Gray goes down against Liriano. Tim McCarver's wonderful line about Bob Gibson. He's the luckiest pitcher I ever saw. He always pitches on the days that nobody gets any hits.
Especially when the mound was high.
Yeah, something tells me he wasn't bad when they moved it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it.
The 112 ERA at 68. All right, we got to do something here. Jose Reyes' second look at Francisco Liriano. It's the all Francisco battery. Francisco Liriano throwing to Francisco Cervelli. One on Reyes. And Jose bounces this foul.
Hey fans, if you don't already receive Hot Rocks emails, you're missing out on the best ticket deals. The only way to receive them is to become a Rockies registered user at Rockies.com.
Walker's got it, 2 outs. That'll bring up LeMahieu. Rockies looking for their first hit. They've had 2 base runners back-to-back in the first inning. LeMahieu and Arenado walked. Then Cargo hit a flare to short. Hundley hit a fly ball to right to end the potential threat. Outside on LeMahieu. Yesterday, with the off day, the Rockies players, those that participate, their annual fantasy football draft.
Yeah, that was quite the talk of who was going to be #1 and what guy you're going to take.
DJ's quarterbacks Tony Romo, and he got Odell Beckham as one of his receivers.
I believe Julio Jones too.
Yeah, he got Julio Jones. I like his receivers. Not like Romo. Romo's an underappreciated quarterback. 3-0. This kind of how DJ's last at bat went. Liriano couldn't throw him a strike. Threw him 4 straight balls. So it's now 7 in a row. That's a strike. See, that last pitch moved, according to the stats, it moved 11 inches. Had 11 inches of movement on it.
On a 3-0 pitch.
That's a 93. And that also had horizontal movement of 11 inches.
And now you're trying to hit a round baseball with a round bat. That's why these guys are the best in the world.
That's fouled off. Three-two on DJ. It's a fastball, and it's lined to right center field, and it's going to hit and run to the wall. One hop off the wall, in fact, as LeMahieu has a 2-out double, the Rockies' first hit of the ball game. DJ came in hitting .311. That'll move the average up a notch.
Also move the doubles up a notch to 19 on the season for DJ. Fastball and just wears out that right center field gap. Very short, compact stride, swing. Stays behind it nicely.
If the Rockies can get even here, down 1-0. It was a 2-out RBI in the first for Pittsburgh. Here's Arenado, the RBI leaders in Major League Baseball. This ball's hit well, but McCutchen will get over to left center field and make the catch. So LeMahieu left at second, middle of 3. The Pirates 1 and the Rockies 0. Out on Drew Goodman's Hill. Those boats lined up, Huey?
Yes.
Some of them are like quadruple parked. That's what they do on the weekend here on the Allegheny. Hey, it's time for you to tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag RMDataStrongFan, and we'll try to get you into an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you each night by our friends at T-Mobile. See, they're having fun out there.
Can't see the game from there, though.
They listen to it on the radio.
Okay.
They're going old school. Some of those fancier boats down there, they can, I guarantee you, watch it. First pitch to Liriano is in there for a strike. John Gray gave up a line single on a slider to McCutchen with 2 outs in the first, and then on a 3-2 pitch, Jung Ho Kang hit a little looper over second base, actually over the second baseman, DJ LeMahieu, to score McCutchen. That's the difference in the game right now. 1-2-3 second inning for Gray, and that is sharply hit, but there's Jose Reyes. 1 out.
Quick reaction from Jose. I've just watched him laugh. Drop step, reach out, make the play. He does have fun playing the game.
Absolutely.
Always. It doesn't matter if we see him when we come to the ballpark, get here at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. He's smiling, ready to go. During batting practice, same thing.
He's got a big personality, and he does enjoy playing. He's always had that reputation. Good teammate. Gregory Polanco struck out looking in the first. And that pitch is at the belt for a strike. Fastball at 96 is fouled back.
If you're on the road traveling and want to watch your Rockies, you can do that. Subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and much, much more.
The 0-2, and he didn't get a bite at a slider. See his whiff percentage. I mean, if you have a whiff percentage on a pitch in the low 30s, that's really nice, really good. His whiff percentage, again, small sample size, on his slider is 60%.
That's why they're only hitting 111 against the slider. Those are a pretty hard slider, 88 miles an hour on average.
And he likes to go to it with 2 strikes. Time he went back to the fastball. Nice pound in the zone. That you like to see.
That is a really good sign. Out of the 37 pitches, 27 for strikes. Studying the feet of Polanco.
Good pitch.
Okay, I guess not.
2-2. Nick, just don't look around.
Don't turn around.
It's close.
Real close. That's get the back foot to move. That has movement.
I like that he squared up the target of Hundley, put it exactly where he wanted it. And that's on the ground up the middle past the diving Nolan Arenado for a base hit. The Rockies had to shift on. So with 1 out, Polanco at first, Starling Marte coming up, and we check in again with Mark Stout. Mark?
All right, Drew, yeah, let's get another picture up from Twitter. This is Matt DiOrio. This is a good one to throw up today with John Gray pitching. John Gray took the time to take a pic with him. You know, just getting to Coors Field, and that's a cool one. That's what we want today. If you've got pictures with some Rockies, or maybe there was a legendary player that you met, hit us up at @RootSports_RM, #FanFriday. So that's a good one.
Trying to think back, there's so many people I wish I could have seen play. I'll give you one. They said this guy may have had as much power as anybody who ever played, and unfortunately never played in the big leagues. Played in the old Negro leagues, and he passed away, I want to say at 37. Josh Gibson. What, he hit like 800 some home runs in the Negro leagues?
I don't remember the exact number. I just know it was off the charts.
Yep. Marte hit a fly ball to center his first time up. Polanco with 21 stolen bases. Behind the plate, when given an opportunity, Nick Hundley's been very good. He's thrown out 34% of would-be base stealers.
When the average is around 27, 28%, the major league average.
So much of it is tied to the pitcher. Got that in Marte's kitchen.
Yeah, the pitcher has to do his job to give the catcher a chance. So I don't care how good of arm you have, maybe short of a Pudge Rodriguez arm, where he can make up a fraction of a second to get a runner. But if the pitcher takes too long to deliver the ball or doesn't vary his time, it's hard on the catcher.
Marte goes to laid out a bunt, perhaps, and misses 1-1. When you were in development with the Chicago Cubs, what was the best pop time you ever saw?
I saw a 1-8 with the kid that, you know, it was quick. Catching it and getting rid of it. But on average, even some guys down in the minor leagues are fighting to get to just a 2-0. And it has a lot to do with footwork more than anything. It's not the arm strength. A lot of kids have that arm strength, but it's just the time to get rid of it, bringing it straight back up to the ear instead of the long circular motion.
We had Nick, who has real good feet. We had Nick at 1.76. Remember that earlier this year, throwing a guy out?
Yeah, your feet set up everything. Whether you're a catcher or an infielder, if your feet work good and are together, your arm's going to be better.
1-1 on Marte. Polanco takes off, pitch out. There's the throw. Safe. Wow, the Rockies did everything right. TR, Tommy Ronalds called it from the bench. The Rockies pitch out, and Polanco still stole second.
That's when you know you have some speed. 22nd stolen base of the year. Long strides from Polanco.
Let's see if the Rockies are interested in challenging that.
The throw was more on the shortstop side. If it's on the second base side, it'll make an easier tag.
Let me ask you, it wasn't a full leg up by Gray, but should he have used the slide step also?
Yes, to give Nick a chance to get rid of it. Yeah, you called the pitch out, and I understand he can't do it too quick or the runner will shut it down. And he is safe going into the bag, but it can't be a 1-3.
Left field should be a routine play for Kyle Parker. He's got it. And that's the second out. It'll bring up McCutchen. With every challenge call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
You saw Walt just a moment ago put his finger to his temple. He's just telling Nick, be smart about this. You got an open base at first base. You got McCutchen, who he talked about in his first at bat, MVP candidate. Don't give him anything. If you walk him, it's okay. I'll take my chances with Gung. And maybe if it gets to a 1-0, 2-0, they just intentionally walk him, take it out of John's hands.
And if you look where Nick Hundley is setting up right now is off the plate. I had a catcher tell me this once. Pitcher called him out after a situation like this and walked the guy on 5 pitches. And he said, the pitcher said, you're setting up outside the strike zone. He said, yeah, on purpose.
I don't want you to throw it down the middle.
And again, if you look where Nick is, you know, McCutchen is a smart player in that he's probably not going to expand. If he does, it works into the Rockies' favor. Otherwise, you see Gray work off that outside corner. See, there's a changeup and got him to chase 1-1.
But where was it? It was down. It wasn't a strike.
Check that out. 2 more home runs to become the 11th center fielder with 150 plus in his first 7 years. And they go change up. Well, it was a fastball. Not for a moment. It's a change up. 2 balls and a strike. Andrew McCutchen and Mike McHenry. And we wish Mike well. He's rehabbing already from that surgery earlier in the week to clean up the meniscus in his knee. Mike and McCutchen, very close friends from spending time together here in Pittsburgh. In fact, Mike was in McCutchen's wedding. Swung on and missed 2-2.
Oh, he missed the fort out here.
Fort McHenry.
Fort McHenry. Get well soon, Mac.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now it's kind of changed the complexion of
It
his
has.
at-bat. Slider away.
Yes. But that's what he hit last time. But work it down.
But it was
the
in the
one
zone,
was
yeah.
more flat across the zone.
They're going to come in with the fastball, and that just missed. I like the idea. Tie up his hands. And now go slider away. And if you miss with it, okay. Then you work on Gung. Excuse me.
But whatever it is, have conviction when you throw it. It's like any pitcher. You know, you can put down the fingers, you can suggest it, but he has to be willing.
So he went fastball, and he does lose McCutchen. 2 on for Jung Ho Gung. Well, Gung knocked in the only run of this game on a bloop single to right on a 3-2 pitch to score McCutchen. That was in the first inning. Gung, a 27-year-old who has absolutely murdered fastballs. He has an OPS on fastballs of over 1,000 this year.
Took some time. Yeah, it took some time for him to get adjusted to playing over here. Different style. Pitching's different.
He's thousands and thousands of miles from his home. We never factor that in, but it ought to be.
Go to spring training in Florida, then come up here. You know, for the Pirates, they also had to post a posting fee, a fee to sign him to his old club. That was in the millions of dollars.
Gray's fallen behind 2-0 on Jung Ho Gung. Real good speed aboard in Polanco and McCutchen, and that's a base hit to right center field. That'll get Polanco home. Cargo able to cut it off, and McCutchen will have to hold at third. Gung has become a Pittsburgh hero here the last couple of months, has made it 2-0. Well, he got himself in a hitter's count, and he can hunt a fastball.
There's a cut fastball away from Gung, and he hits it into the right center field gap. Stayed on it. Drove in Polanco. Gung, he's got a high leg kick, but then he gets everything timing-wise together. The foot gets down as the hands are coming back. Able to cover pretty good distance of that plate.
You got a huge at bat early in this game right now. It's already 2-0. You have Neil Walker, very good hitter at the plate.
We can't afford to fall behind too much, because not only Liriano, but you're looking at the bullpen of the Pirates, who's one of the best in the league.
Lights out bullpen. Walker struck out swinging his first time. bit low. It's 2-0 again. Good hitting clubs tend to be very disciplined. And that's what the Pirates are. They're 8th in average in baseball this year. With runners in scoring position and 2 outs, they're 3rd in baseball. We just saw evidence of that on the 2-out RBI double by Gunn.
When you're confident as a team, you'll do that. You'll wait out pitchers. You'll wait till you get a chance.
Might as well go ahead and walk him. It's 3-0 and go right on right with Cervelli. So that'll load up the bases. Cervelli hit the ball well his first time up. He lined out to center field at Brandon Barnes.
Trying to see what the holdup was. Didn't really tell. There's nothing going on. John looked back to center field.
Bases loaded with Cervelli at the plate. And he swings and fouls that pitch off. Cervelli's .308 average coming in the best of all major league catchers. He's already set a career high for games caught this year in the mid-90s. Guy squatting right next to him has one of the top averages also in baseball for catchers, Nick Hunley. It's 3rd. This is actually Cervelli's 99th start behind the plate. That's a strike also. At 95, it's 0-2.
Started that pitch off the plate away from Cervelli and then brought it back to clip the corner. One and two. McCutchen at third. Guns at second. Neil Walker at first. A run in the inning. It's 2-0 Bucks. And he's got him with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to end the inning. But the Pirates get another run on a gun double to bring home Gregory Polanco.
As is PNC Park here in Pittsburgh. PNC is a beautiful ballpark located on the Allegheny River. Carlos Gonzalez will lead things off in the 4th inning. He'll be followed by Nick Hundley and Matt McBride.
Did Jimmy say calluses to prove it? I thought they were more like blisters to prove.
They were blisters. Calluses come over a period of time.
Right, that's
where
what
you
I was
work and you earn
getting at.
calluses.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Blisters that's what happens the first time you pick up a shovel. And those dove, soft hands of Spillies were marred by the fact that he had to grip a shovel for 25 minutes or so.
And he had to get there at 1 o'clock. That was the other part of the equation.
Yeah.
Spilly just having fun with you.
No, we're being serious.
Yeah, we are
actually.
being serious. Yeah.
Here's the 0-1 to Cargo. And this is slowly hit to Neil Walker. That'll bring up Hundley. Nick hit a fly ball to right. Rockies have 1 hit. It was a 2-out double last inning by LeMahieu.
Looking to come out to a game? There's always great Rockies ticket deals available. Bookmark Rockies.com/specials and check back all season long. Arizona and San Francisco on the next homestand.
There's a strike on Hundley. Sliders hitting the air again to right field. It's short out there. He flies to Polanco.
Yeah, just 320 down the right field line, goes out to 375. But when you're standing at home plate, it seems shorter than that.
Mark, what do you have?
We have a bunch of tweets to show everybody because we wanted you to get some pictures of you with some of the players. So there's Adriana. There's another one with John Gray. That's a good one from Coors Field this year. I think we have a few more to show you. Chris is with Cargo. Looks like Jeremy Guthrie set him up to get that photo. So there's another one with a Rocky. And we have a few more coming into @RootSports_RM. Brenda, Nolan's right in the middle of this one. As this is tapped in front of the mound, and Oriano's going to make a nice play. So we've got more of your tweets coming up. Player that you met, somebody that impacted your life, maybe a legendary guy. Hit us up @RootSports_RM as we go bottom 4.
want, and good looks too. Ford, go further. By Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Charlie Felix floating around taking that shot. And Huey, to answer your question earlier, actually during the commercial break, yes, there's a full moon in Denver tonight as well.
Well, thanks for answering that. I didn't realize that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pointed it out. Just a gorgeous night. Rockies have the shift on for Pedro Alvarez. John Gray working here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Pirates. Gray's first pitch in there for a strike. He struck out Alvarez in the 2nd. 4 strikeouts in all for Gray. He's given up the 2 runs on 4 hits. Cuts inside, a ball and a strike.
Alvarez, the first pick out of Vanderbilt.
Pedro's from the Dominican, but grew up in New York City. Full-time first baseman now after playing third base first portion of his career.
Watch it. Those in the dugout had to duck.
One and 2 on Alvarez. Swung on and missed, and once again Gray strikes out Alvarez, his 5th of the ball game. That'll bring up Jordy Mercer.
Full strikeouts to Alvarez have been climb the ladder variety. Go up above the hands. Alvarez thinks he can catch up to it, and he can't. Ball's in the glove before he can get that bat through the zone.
And a first pitch strike on Mercer.
Jordy missed some time with the sprained left MCL.
Big shortstop. He's 6'3".
He and Clint Varmus used to provide the tandem here in Pittsburgh for a few years, and then Jordy ended up wrestling that away from Clint.
He's an Oklahoma kid. Played his college baseball in Stillwater. Was a 3-time All Big 12 player there. Pirates took him in 2008 in the 3rd round. Here's the 2-2. And that's punched to right, a base hit. Right off the end of the bat.
Might even have broken his bat. Didn't sound very crisp.
Siriano's going to be laying down a bunt here, you'd assume.
He only has 2 sacrifice bunts on the season.
Pretty low number for this
late in the season.
Yeah. Pirates 2 years ago won 94 games, capturing a spot in the playoffs via the wild card. And they beat Cincinnati that year 6-2 to move on. Last year they captured a wild card spot, won 88 games. But they got blanked 8-0 by the Giants. We all know where the Giants ended up. You just want to get in. There goes the runner, and the throw to second is going to easily nail Jordy Mercer. That's a great throw from Nick Hundley. 2 outs. Let's take a look at the National League standings. The playoff picture brought to you by DirecTV. Currently the Mets, who've won 7 straight, are 6.5 north of the Nationals. The Dodgers are playing better baseball. They're 2.5 up on the Giants. The Cards lead the Central. The Pirates have played great. The Cubs have played great. They're the 2 wild card teams. This ball's pulled foul by Cervelli. Last year was Madison Bumgarner.
Every game was
well, he pitched yesterday. You see what he did yesterday?
Yeah.
He's now 16-6. The thing about the wild card now, it's awesome that Major League Baseball, I think, has added that second wild card. It keeps, you know, more teams in it. There's more relevance to games late in the season. It also makes the trade deadline more intriguing because there's probably more teams that feel like they still have a chance. But it's now a 1-game true, you know, it's a game 7, which is a lot of excitement very early in the baseball playoffs. But it used to be when there was one wild card, you were in. And you were going to play a best out of 5.
And this year you could possibly have the team with the second best record and the third best record playing that 1-game playoff for a wild card spot.
Right. I'm sure the Pirates and the Cubs still have designs on trying to catch the Cardinals. Good changeup, and that strikes out the pitcher Liriano. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh.
Friday. Use the hashtag FanFriday and tweet us at RootSports_RM. Got a chance to go to the Roberto Clemente Museum on the off day here in Pittsburgh on Thursday. Here's my 21 cap that I got. And we just wanted to hear some stories you had of legends or something like that. There's another 21. Eric Young and Krista sent us a little tweet. My dad tried to take pics of EY and signing for my brother. EY stopped him, pulled my brother into his lap and smiled. The best day, made her day. So that's kind of a neat thing from EY. If you got a story like that, I remember I went to the vet and I was a kid and I loved Larry Boa, trying to get his autograph. And I was down there by the side of the field and some big South Philly guy comes in and yells, "Hey, Larry, baby, you're the best." Scared me to death. I just ran right out of there. Never got the autograph. Fortunately, now I get to see Larry Boa. when we go around in baseball, but I'll never forget that. So maybe you have a story you can tweet us like that, guys.
What did he say the first time you talked to him, though, Larry, about that? You told him that story.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, those are those South Philly guys that come down, you know, the Rocky Balboa guys.
But he's one of the best guys to talk to now in the game.
Best, isn't he? He'll talk about anything.
And he is candid, very candid.
One of my favorites.
Absolutely. So here we go. Thank you, Mark. Fifth inning. Kyle Parker will lead it off. Then Brandon Barnes and John Gray against Francisco Liriano, who's allowed just one hit. And that's a swinging strike one. Kyle at 200s, hit a couple home runs. Walking back from Camden Yards Hotel, look right behind me, and there's Todd Helton. That walk in the Inner Harbors is the best way to get back.
Really done a nice job with that Inner Harbor area, the Camden Yards. A lot like Lodo. There's so much going on around the ballpark.
I remember once, speaking of passing somebody we knew, walking to the ballpark years ago in San Diego. That's fouled off. And it's about 3:45 in the afternoon, 7 o'clock game. And Matt Holliday is walking toward me. I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I feel awful." He got a stomach bug and was not available that night. Sent him back to the hotel so he didn't infect everybody else. 3-2 on Parker. Outside, so Kyle draws a walk. That's the third walk allowed by Liriano. First time the Rockies have the leadoff man on. Now the Rockies made a move earlier today. They only had one lefty down in their bullpen. Now it's Christian Friedrich. So they brought up Jason Gurka, former 15th round pick of the Baltimore Orioles 2008 out of Angelina College in Lufkin, Texas. And Jason's from Brenham, Texas. Tommy Canley was optioned to Albuquerque, so it's been a roller coaster ride for Tommy. About a week and a half ago, he was the Rockies closer for a few days, but he has really battled control issues. Brandon Barnes tried to bunt his way on.
Well, good for Jason. So when he gets into the ball game, he'd be his first major league appearance. Worked real hard. Signed as a minor league free agent with Colorado back on December 16th.
Would you say Chad Bettis was excited, right?
Yeah, of course. Another Texas guy.
Enjoying his first day, sitting next to another lefty, Boone Logan. Unfortunately, Boone's not available on the DL. Rockies just 2-7 their last 9 here in Pittsburgh. After over the last 5 ball games, all losses, they have scored just 10 runs. They're being shut out right now. Barnes has been swinging the bat well, and this goes off of Cervelli and Parker to second base.
They said this was a wild pitch. Yeah, it will go down as a wild pitch. Clipped the dirt before it went to Cervelli.
Two-1 to Barnes, and he swings through that. Nobody out. John Gray's on deck. Pirates play a lot of these games, Huey. They play a lot of these low-scoring kind of games.
91 games for the Pirates where there's been 3 runs or less.
This ball driven to center field pretty deep. McCutchen will get back, make the catch. Good job at base running. Parker with nobody out. It's an automatic tag, and he'll move to third with 1 out.
But he did it the right way. He didn't immediately go back to the bag to tag up. He stood out there for a moment to see where it was going to go in case it did go over the head of McCutchen. But once he saw he was back there, then he backtracked, tagged up, got into scoring, or got over to third base with less than 2 outs.
Textbook job. So now the infield will come in. John Gray, a chance to help his own cause. For his first big league hit. Now would be a wonderful time. Takes a strike. Safety squeeze here.
Well, maybe it's just hard with Liriano because you don't know what you're going to get from him. If it was more of a fastball pitcher, I'd say yeah, I'd look for it. But he throws just as many off-speed pitches as he does fastball. When you add the two together, so 53% fastball, either a slider and changeup compared to below 50% on his fastball.
You like that he's lefty as part of the equation.
That helps.
Gets away also. It's a strikeout.
Run, make him throw it.
Two outs. They get the out at first, and it'll be left to Jose Reyes.
Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks come to Coors Field August 31st through September 2nd with a special day-night doubleheader on September 1st. Purchase your tickets today. Game 1, 110. Game 2 is 640.
Reyes, a ground ball to first and a ground ball to second. Way outside.
You know what might not be a bad play here? A little push bunt over towards first base. You have the left-hander falling off the mound. You have Alvarez at first.
Or a drive to deep left field. Stay fair and get out.
Yes,
that is
out.
off the foul pole. 2-run home run. Ball game tied. Jose Reyes. The heck with a bunt.
Forget that bunt. I'm going to go ahead and hit my second home run on this road trip.
Just the second hit for the Rockies, and it ties things up here at the top of the 5th.
That went right off the foul pole.
We talked about how if you pull the ball right down the line, it is really shallow in both left and right.
He hooked it. He's not sure if it's going to stay fair. A quarter of the way up the foul pole. It's right off that yellow part of it. Ties the game up.
The only other man with a hit is the guy at the plate. DJ LeMahieu lined a double to right center in the 3rd.
Always a good sound when you're hitting, when that you could hear that clank.
1-2 on LeMahieu. And Liriano strikes out DJ. But Jose Reyes has changed the complexion of the game with a game-tying 2-run home run off the left field foul pole. Two-run home run. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. The promo code's ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. Well, Justin Morneau was sent to New Britain to play over the next few days on a rehab assignment, and in his first at bat, he gets a base hit. Good for Justin. It's been a while. It's been a long way back for Morneau. Signing autographs tonight for the Rock Cats. He's going to play 5 innings tonight. Go a little longer as a DH tomorrow. He's in the field tonight.
I'm going to say something told me on that last homestand that he was getting close to going out on a rehab. I'll tell you why right after this pitch. I saw him taking ground balls, and he happened to boot one that went off his glove, and I saw him get angry and kind of punch his glove and say, man, I should have had that. That told me that the competitive juices, he knew what his body was telling him, that it's real close to going out and starting playing this game again.
And also the BP started to look like his normal BP from when he, started hitting out on the field a couple weeks ago. 0-1 on Gregory Polanco, top of the order for the Pirates, and that ball's line fair down the line. Kicks right to Cardinal. He may have a chance at second. Here's the throw.
What a
man, what a throw. Perfect throw. We're watching that come in. You think he's going to get him.
Well, I thought he had him, and Jose was pointing to the dugout like, take a look at this.
Jeff Nelson is the second base umpire. Here's the slide. There's the throw. Ooh, I don't know, man. They got to look at that.
And Brian Jones down in the video will look at this to see.
Look at that throw.
I know.
You couldn't have run it over there and said, here, does this work any better for you? They get a break when it kicked right to.
And he had all his
Fargo.
momentum to come in to make the throw.
Apparently, they're not going to look at it.
Watch the left hand. Left hand in.
You know what? They must have felt like Jose missed the hand and didn't tag him until the chest, and therefore a hand got on the bag. What a terrific throw by Gonzalez.
27 doubles for Polanco.
Obviously, it's huge. Now you're talking about nobody out, a leadoff man at second, as opposed to maybe you throw him out. Polanco gets a hit, but he's sitting in the dugout.
When you catch the ball from an outfielder and you go to apply the tag, you want to try to get that glove in front of the bag, because that's the only place those hands can go, and then you can adjust from there. But it's such a split-second decision for an infielder. Sometimes you reach and you hope.
The bunt attempt goes foul by Marte. Top of the order, you have McCutchen on deck. 80 pitches in for John Gray, so got to figure at some point, and hopefully gets through this inning, that it'll be all for Gray. But you want to see him get through this group of hitters. Third time through, the top of the order, 2-2 game. A lot can be learned here.
And these are the growth times in a game when you're talking about young pitchers. Third time through, you got some traffic out there. Do you pitch to them differently? Do you use another pitch that you didn't use the first 2 times to get them?
Well, it's got to be part of the process as well.
It is.
The evolution. This Christian Bergman's up. One and 2 on Marte. Marte will strike out. He struck out 104 times. The only guy on the Pirates who has struck out more is Alvarez with 107.
Two pitches are good here. I think that the high fastball up towards the letters or the slider that works away from Marte. That's the areas, if you look at a scouting report on him, that he really scuffles with. That's a strike 3. Now, nobody called timeout, did they?
Let's see if being told that Nick Hundley called timeout.
But was it granted, though? I didn't ever see Chris throw up his hands. It was granted timeout, but the count's still 2-2.
Yeah, so it must not have been granted. Chris Caccione just went down anyhow, almost out of habit. Here's the 2-2. Polanco's at second. And that goes all the way to the backstop. And now Polanco's at third.
Wild pitch from John Gray. Nick was set up inside. John just yanked that to the other batter's box. Oh.
"3-2, that's line to left. That'll get the go-ahead run home. Polanco scores on the fly ball by Marte, his 63rd RBI, 3-2 Pittsburgh. Andrew McCutchen, single and a walk tonight. Changeup misses. Leadoff double, wild pitch, fly ball. Productive out by Marte on a 3-2 count.
We'll go back to the story we tell about McCutchen, where he led the Polk County in hitting as an 8th grader.
It's really a remarkable story. I was telling Brandon Barnes tonight. I think it was Barnes I was telling that story. He's on the Polk County varsity as an 8th grader, which is ridiculous in itself. And then he led the entire county as an 8th grader in hitting. Just a precursor of things to come later. Deep short, Reyes not going to be able to get McCutchen.
what he's going to be able to get McCutchen, no matter who you are, what kind of arm you have, because he still runs it very well. Gets down the line, pulled in the hole. And the helpless feeling as a shortstop, you know you've done everything you can, and the guy just is too fast.
And that is going to be all for John Gray. 89 pitches. So he'll give way to Christian Bergman. 3-2 Pirates. Pirates have taken a 3-2 lead. McCutchen an infield single to end John Gray's evening, and now it'll be Christian Bergman facing Jung Ho Gung, who is 2 for 2 and has driven into a single and a double for Gung so far.
The last time that Christian pitched was in relief to John Gray back on the 21st against the Mets, and that appearance he threw 3 1/3, couple hits, 1 earned run, 1 strikeout.
Pitched very well.
Yes, he did. He's pitched very well in the role he's been asked to do. Prior to that game against the Mets, he had gone 11 days without seeing the field.
Well, Gray went 4 1/3, at least 3 runs given up. Obviously, he is responsible for McCutchen at first. 7 hits. He walked 2, 1 intentionally, struck out 6. Better than his last time out, clearly, but not quite as sharp as we have seen him in at least 2 of the previous 3 starts to that ball game last weekend.
And not the sustained velocity on his fastball.
Yeah, you didn't see the plus fastball tonight, really.
A couple times, but saw a lot of 93s, some 92s.
Two strikes on Gung. Gung's one of those guys. He's right on the plate. He gets hit a lot. This should end the inning. 5, 4, 3. And it will. So Bergman gets the final 2 outs on the 5-4-3 double play. Pirates have taken a 3-2 lead. We're off to the 6th. first bank recap. The Pirates up 3-2. Gong has driven in a couple of runs. Polanco has scored a couple of runs. Jose Reyes, one of the 2 hits for the Rockies. It was a big one, a 2-run home run off the left field foul pole. John Gray goes 4 1/3, gives up 3 runs on 7 hits, strikes out 6, walks 2. As we check in again with Mark Stout. Mark.
This is Hashtag Fan Friday from Troy, and look at this photo that he sent us. It's a photo of Troy with the big 2-3, the big G, Jason Giambi from back at High Corbett. What's Giambi doing now? Do you know, Drew, by chance? Or
big man's chilling in Vegas.
Is he?
I'm guessing.
He is the big man. I always used to say the big 2-3. Let's get it done.
He was fun, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Nolan went out to Vegas, worked out with G that one off season.
Yeah, he and Tulowitzki were working out together. Arenado, Gonzalez, Hundley, third look at Francisco Liriano. Minnesota and Chicago, mostly Minnesota before Pittsburgh for Liriano, a 4.40 ERA and 141 starts. Since going to Pittsburgh, he has a 3.21 ERA. Tonight is his 80th start in a Pirate uniform.
Yeah, over a run lower on ERA. He originally signed with the San Francisco Giants and then went to Minnesota along with Joe Nathan. And I like this name. This name might be one of the best ever. Boof Bonser. Remember Boof?
Boof, yeah.
In exchange for A.J. Przinsky.
Boof was a goof, wasn't he?
It was like saying Boof Bonser.
He was a big-time prospect, wasn't he? Boof
Yes, he
Bonser.
was. He was.
Two and two on Arenado. Yeah, that's a high fly ball down the right field line. Out of play. Everybody gets along with Rene Latchman, the Rockies coaches, former Marlin manager. The reason I'm bringing him up is Latch, everywhere he goes, when he's not wearing Rockies paraphernalia, he has Southern Cal paraphernalia on his alma mater. And Nolan is a huge SC football fan.
Latch had his SC hat on last night. He ran into him out at dinner.
Yep. So I'm working out today, more SC gear on. That ball is lined, but Walker climbs the ladder and makes the grab to take a base hit away from Arenado, 1 out.
Neil Walker is one of those athletes that played multiple sports in high school and was known more for his football exploits here in Pittsburgh than he was for his baseball.
I love it. His first year in the big leagues, he was still living in his parents' house. He was a legendary high school athlete in these parts. Gets to, how nice is that? And you get to play baseball for the local 9.
Yeah, and then
graduate to the Pirates.
And then your mom probably. Oh,
Cargo got one to deep right and gone. Tie ball game. With one swing of the bat, Cargo loses one to right center field. His first career hit in 9 at bats, now 10 at bats against Liriano's a big fly, his 31st home run of the year.
For Liriano, he had only given up 11 home runs in 147 2/3 prior to tonight's game, and now he's given up 2, and both of these have come to tie the game back up. Cargo knew it as soon as he hit it. Another no-doubter off the bat at Cargo.
Yeah, he doesn't hit wall scrapers.
No.
Nick Hundley swings over the top of that. So Cargo trots around the bases for the 31st time this year. I'll tell you a quick story. We like to tell you because he puts together legendary batting practice. And today I was standing there with LeMahieu and Barnes as they're waiting to hit. And Cargo, see the batter's eye? It's $3.99, so it's basically 400 straight away. And then there's that, beautiful Pirates, the bushes there. And then the batter's eye, which, how high is that, do you think? 30 feet?
Yeah, at least.
Hit it over it. Hit it over the batter's eye.
And during batting practice, where you have to supply more power than what you do during the game because of the speed of the baseball.
He's throwing 55 miles an hour from 40 feet. He hit it over the batter's eye. Barnes turned to me. He said, "Did you see that?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I thought that was." I'm looking in the. I knew he hit it well. I'm looking in the bushes to see, is it going to land on the letter E or is it going to land on the letter T? Went over the thing.
That's why you don't hit in groups with those guys.
Yeah, well, I guess so. That ties Cargo for the. This ball is well hit to right, and that's off the very top of the wall by Hundley. He's got to hustle. He's got to get back now to first. Out at first base. Gregory Polanco played that off the very top of the wall. It flirted with being a home run. Instead, it'll be a single. And Nick is out. 9-6-3.
Well, when you know your own ballpark and how the ball plays, you see how he didn't get too close to the wall? That's the problem most outfielders get into, is they'll start to go back for the ball, and then they're too close, the ball will kick away. Nick, halfway to second base, he's in no man's land. Tries a swim move at first to throw pull the right arm back, reach around with the left, but Alvarez is there for the tag. But Polanco, he was positioned A+.
Yeah, it's hard to blame Nick for that. I mean, you hit the ball off the top of the wall. You're assuming, and you know that you have to hustle, but you're assuming double, and then he slammed on the brakes. He recognized quickly that it was going to be interesting because the ball went right to Polanco, and he tried to get back. He couldn't.
And then Jordy Mercer catches the ball on the fly and makes a strong throw to Alvarez.
It's good defense by the Pirates. 3-3 game. I was starting to say Cargo's home run ties him with Bryce Harper for the National League lead in home runs. This is from a guy in Carlos Gonzalez who had 4 home runs when the month of June began.
This proves once again what kind of talent he has.
Some of the rarest ability in the game. This is popped up and playable. Bride fouls out to Alvarez. In the inning, Cargo hits one a mile to right center, and the Rockies are back even with the Pirates.
As we head to the bottom of the 6th on a Fan Friday. Just use the hashtag Fan Friday. You can tweet us at @sports_RM, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media avenues. Speaking of Cargo, here's a photo from Jamie and Julie. I'm assuming that's Jamie with a younger Cargo a few years ago, and that's in the Rockies clubhouse. So Cargo taking some time and spending his day with Jamie, and it's always cool to see your guys and make your day.
And to get a clubhouse in there, a picture in the clubhouse.
It's always good to see Cargo hit home runs, too.
And that was a strong deduction, Mark, that was Jamie and not Julie.
Yeah. I went out on a limb there.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Good like that sometimes, Drew.
Yeah, you got to. Cargo leading the league along with Bryce Harper now in home runs with 31. Nolan's next with 30.
Stan's still on the list, and he's been out 6 weeks.
Isn't that something? We're back to when we grew up. You hit 30 home runs. That is a bunch of home runs. I'm not saying it wasn't 15 years ago, but it was not quite as significant. I remember using these terms, Huey. Do you remember growing up? Guy who hit 20 home runs had some pop. He was a power hitter. Guy who hit 30 home runs was a home run hitter.
And there was a big difference between the two.
Yeah. Neil Walker's retired, and here is Francisco Cervelli. Bergman in relief of John Gray. John will get a no decision, so he will remain with a zip and zip record in 5 big league starts. One from Bergman, and that's pulled foul past Rick Sofield, the third base coach.
Brewfest returns Saturday, September 5th. Purchase the Brewfest ticket package to enjoy beers from 16 regional breweries and vote for your favorite brewery to win tap space for April 2016.
Cervelli lined out and struck out against Gray. Again, John struck out 6, gave up 3 runs and 4 1/3. And that's a base hit to center. That'll bring up Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez, an all-star in 2013, also led the league in home runs.
Well, he's a leader and a player that has the fewest amount of hits with over 100+ home runs. He has 105 home runs in his career, just 440 hits since 2012.
Yeah, so basically 1 out of 4 going out of the ballpark. My friend scored some clubhouse tickets, causing this 25-year-old to be 5 again when Vinny Castillo walked by. Swung on and missed. Alvarez is behind 1 and 2. Alvarez was the second pick. You mentioned this earlier. The second pick in the 08 draft. Tim Beckham was the #1 pick at Tampa that year. And really hasn't panned out for Beckham.
No, it hasn't. Alvarez is 4 or 5 years into his career.
Yep. Alvarez gone again. 3 strikeouts tonight. Christian Bergman gets him this time. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Jordy Mercer. Whenever you discuss the draft, it is so different. Here's the pitch again. It's so different in Major League Baseball than certainly the NFL draft and the NBA draft. The NHL draft's a little different too, because a lot of times guys drafted high won't make the NHL, you know, the parent team
Well, they can still go back to college or their junior team.
Exactly, and they control them for a while. So the NHL draft is different. But when you draft a guy in at a Pitt, we're in Pittsburgh, in the first round, and he goes to the Miami Dolphins, you're expecting him to be a large contributor for the Miami Dolphins that year, not for the Miami Dolphins AAA affiliate or AA affiliate or way down in A ball. In the NBA, first round picks are expected to make the team, and especially if they're in the lottery, to contribute to those NBA franchises the very next winter. In baseball, you draft a guy early, and sometimes it's out of college, sometimes it's out of high school. It may be 4, 5, 6 years down the road. There's so much projection involved, and a lot of things can happen in those 4, 5, 6 years. This is popped up, shallow center field. LeMahieu's got his hand out. DJ drops the baseball. That's the second time we've seen him drop a pop-up in the last week and a half.
Yeah, drop pop-up at home, but was able to get the runner that was at first at second base for the put-out.
And there's not much wind up there.
No, it just went off. Did it go off the heel of his glove? Closed it too soon? He's calling it, not worried about anybody coming behind him. And went off the heel of his glove.
Cervelli's now at third.
Seventh error for DJ. And now they're going to go to their
pinch hit for Liriano. They're going to go with Michael Morse, one of their recent acquisitions.
Picked up a couple guys at the trade deadline.
Well, they were active, and look at the group they got. Jay Happ, who the Rockies will see tomorrow. He's been terrific so far since coming from Seattle. Michael Morse has hit 300. Joe Blanton's been lights out. He came from Kansas City. Aramis Ramirez goes back to Pittsburgh. He began his career here as a 19-year-old. And the former closer of the Royals, Joaquin Soria, is now working in a setup role, and look what he's done.
And Soria has really settled that bullpen down. He'll come in the seventh inning if they have the lead. Go to Tony Watson, the left-hander, and then try to close it out with Mark Melancon. But that's why Clint is playing this card now with Michael Morse, try to add a run.
A very uncharacteristic error on DJ LeMahieu. 0-1's fouled back. It's 0-2. Baseball's a team sport. The way Christian Bergman is wired, he probably looked at DJ, who's picked up so many pitchers with extraordinary plays, and he said, "Hey, I got your back."
I got you. That's what teammates do.
Yep.
Morse 2 for 9 pinch hitting for Pittsburgh, 4 for 13 this year. This is an unusual pre-routine where he'll just take the bat, just really just kind of push at it for a moment. Doesn't do a complete swing.
It's almost like a reminder to keep his hands inside, I would guess.
In slow motion.
Yeah. He waits on the slider and fouls it back.
Be up here in just a moment. We'll keep this shot on him. Here it comes, right there.
Does that every time.
Every single time.
Good block by Nick. He's hitting just .213 with Miami this year. His best year with the Nationals in 2011. He had 31 home runs, drove in 95, and hit .303. Next year, wasn't bad. He had .291, 18 home runs. He was hurt that year, a bunch fewer at bats. Here's the 1-2. 2-2. Then he moved on to Seattle, Baltimore, the Giants. Last year where he hit 16 home runs, got himself a ring. Moving up from first to second on the wild pitch is Jordy Mercer. Now you got Polanco on deck. If you're Bergman, this is the guy you want. Gonzalez Germain is up in the Rockies pen. And that's ball 4, so that will load him up for Polanco.
Germain is ready. Gregory Polanco.
2 for 3 tonight. Scored a couple runs, single and a double.
Last 23 games, 343.
On the outside corner, a changeup for a strike.
I like the call, go to changeup first pitch.
One and one. That's 2-1 on Polanco. Pirates tough at home. 44-20. That's their second best record at this juncture of the season ever.
20-5 in the last 25 at PNC.
Here's the 2-1. And that ball's roped to right. Cargo lays out, makes the catch, and saves the day. It remains 3-3. DJ LeMahieu is going to give him a hug when he gets back to the dugout.
with the work of Carlos Gonzalez. He hits a home run last half inning and then saves a bunch of runs with this diving catch in right field with the bases loaded. Cargo's just doing it all in the 6th inning. Coming on to pitch for the Pittsburgh Pirates is one of their key acquisitions from Detroit. Got him back on July 30th, Joaquin Soria. Now pitched since Sunday night against San Francisco. Didn't see any action in the game against, or in the games against Miami, I should say. The 4-game set that the Buccos took 3 of 4 from. 1 of 3 save opportunities. All this is with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Right-handers hitting just 143 off it.
Soria, native of Mexico, and he has the first pitch over. Strike 1 to Kyle Parker. Originally signed by the Dodgers. 31-year-old. And the breaking ball's in there for a strike. He had 42 saves for the Royals one year, 43 saves for them in 2010. 23 saves this year with Detroit. And whenever, and you see this a lot with the teams not doing well and teams that are doing well, they'll pick up a closer from another team, even if they have a good closer, and they will throw him in the 7th or 8th inning, and it's almost like you have 2 or 3 of them going back to back to back. It's why Atlanta was so disappointed. First and foremost, they were disappointed for Jason Grilli, the former Pirate and former Rocky, when he got hurt, blew out his Achilles. But they were hoping to flip Jason for, you know, a quality prospect around the trade deadline, and then he went down with the Rockies.
Well, you just
against the Rockies.
Yeah, you just shorten the game up when you do that. You make it a 6-inning game.
Well, if you have 3 real good ones, look at the Royals. I mean, the Royals right now,
they try to make it just a 5-inning game.
It's silly how good their pen is.
But you have to have the guys to be able to do that, and that's why you'll trade for a Soria. I mean, Papelbon with Washington, that's why they traded him. Now, it's not working out too well for Washington, but the point being is you can slide other guys back into the 8th and 7th inning.
Well, the Mets did it in picking up Tyler Clippard. Clippard's now handling the 8th inning in front of Familia. The Pirates bullpen just fabulous this year. Look at all those numbers. There's a long fly ball to center field. McCutchen going back, still going back, and right in front of the wall. Andrew makes the catch on the long fly ball by Kyle Parker.
It was almost as deep as that commercial that he does where he makes that catch and the fans are right there. That's how close he was on the warning track.
So the Pirates pen this year, just a 2.5 ERA. That's not only second in the National League, that's second in baseball. They're second in saves, third in what they've allowed the opposition to hit. And they got Tony Watson, who handles the 8th inning. He's terrific. And Colorado kid Mark Melanson in the 9th inning, just piling up the saves.
Melanson took over for Jason Grilli when he wasn't doing the job.
That's right. Barnes has hit the ball in the air twice to McCutchen. Charlie Blackmon's come out in the on-deck circle to hit for Bergman. (3-3) game, top of 7. Curveball misses.
I wrote Diaz as we replaced Germain warming up.
Now it's a full count. Rockies bullpen's in a good place. Came into the ball game 16 scoreless innings in a row for a bullpen that had really had its issues in the second half. There's a strikeout of Barnes. 2 outs. They're in a good place right now. Bergman has given them quality tonight in relief of John Gray. 2 outs. Charlie Blackmon will come up. Who Wants Tacos fans follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. So Charlie with just his 3rd pinch hitting appearance of the year. You're in the lineup every day. It's hard to get hitting opportunities, nor do you really want them. Be out there every day as Charlie does. And strike 1.
Charlie's got to treat this like he would leading off a ball game. You know, you're coming off the bench pinch hitting, but you're facing a pitcher that you haven't seen. Just try to work the count so you can get a pitch to hit. He's got a lot of work to do being behind 0-2.
Blackmon lifts this to center field. McCutchen jogs in, grabs it, and Soria works a 1-2-3 7th inning. Stretch time in Pittsburgh. Rockies 3, Pirates 3. Mobile. Is that Dennis in the middle?
I think so. I don't know.
We're going to say it's Dennis in the
Dennis
middle.
in the middle.
Let's check in with Mark. Mark?
I've got a couple of photos to show you too here for Fan Friday. We've been using the hashtag Fan Friday, and I want to show you one. This is a good one with Charlie Blackmon, who just came up and flew out. And we had a picture here of, yeah, that's Kate. And that's a great picture with Charlie Blackmon. And one more, Mama Dig sent this one in of her daughter. She got a chance to meet Ryan Spilborghs. And we've got this photo of her and Spilly to show you. And don't forget tonight, Rockies Real Time, Spilly with the grounds crew at Coors Field. That's a brand new Rockies Real Time after the game tonight. There's Spilly looking good. Scruffy as always, right, guys?
A little bit longer hair.
Yeah, we cleaned him up a little bit since she turned to the dark side and went to TV. Starling Marte in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Jairo Diaz is now in there for the Rockies. It's Marte, McCutchen, and Gung, and that's to Nolan Arenado, and he'll flip it across, 1 out.
2 pitches, 1 out for Diaz. A lot of work in the Atlanta series. Back-to-back nights on Tuesday. Had a scoreless frame on Tuesday, and then went 2/3 of an inning on Wednesday.
Andrew McCutchen coming up. Christian Bergman went an inning and 2/3. Didn't give up a run, just a hit, a walk, and a strikeout for Christian tonight. So it's 17 1/3 scoreless for that Rockies bullpen. Jairo Diaz misses at 97. Ball 1 on McCutchen. McCutchen a single, a walk, and an infield single. He scored a run. He also has a stolen base. 304, 20 home runs, 85 driven in. Slider misses. 2-0. And that's on the ground to short. Reyes gets the hard playing McCutchen by a step.
He knew he had to get rid of it. McCutchen beat the ball out in the hole. Jose had this momentum going towards first prior to catching that ball.
Jung-Ho Kang. He's made his mark again tonight. Single to drive in a run in the first. Double against John Gray to drive in a run in the third. He hit into a 5-4-3 double play against Bergman to end the fifth. So he's 2 for 3 tonight. 2 outs. Jairo Diaz misses there.
He's starting to put his name in contention for Rookie of the Year, at least on the watch list.
I like that, the watch list. It's like college football. You got the Heisman watch list right now.
That's Rookie of the Year watch list.
Yeah. Well, Matt Duffy's hit 3-hole for the Giants posted this year. He's hitting .306, 10 at 60. Noah Syndergaard with the Mets. Chris Bryant, 20 bombs, closing in on 80 RBIs. The average has gone up too since the Rockies were in Chicago.
And one guy that has dropped off our watch list, Jock Peterson of the Dodgers.
We didn't make him a semifinalist.
No, not at all. He dropped off the big board.
Don Mattingly's dropped him off the big board also because he's not starting every day anymore.
And that's what gets you off the big board.
Yeah, but that rookie wall, huh?
Chris Heston, same thing. He was on the early watch list, and now he's pitching in AAA.
He went from throwing a no-hitter to being on the watch list. Now trying to compete with Vegas and Albuquerque and Colorado Springs. He'll be back.
He will.
3-2. The count on Gunn. And this is a high fly ball. DJ going out. He's going to be called off by Charlie Blackmon, who's now in center field. Charlie staying in the ball game. 1-2-3 inning for Diaz. We'll go to the 8th. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. On a beautiful night in Western PA, we have a tight affair. Rockies 3 and the Pirates 3. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, and Mark Stout. And the Rockies in the 8th inning will face that man, Tony Watson, who's been handling the 8th inning. Lefty's hitting just $190. Righty's not a whole lot better, Jeff.
And that's why he gets the 8th inning, because it doesn't matter. You try to match up if you're Walt Weiss, and that's why Clint Hurdle goes to this left-hander. It's tough to do that when you're facing a guy that can get out both guys. I mean, righty, lefty, it doesn't matter to Watson.
First pitch is in there for a strike on Jose. Rockies had nothing going on. They were down 2-0. They had one hit, and then Reyes hit one off the foul pole with a man aboard to tie the game at 2. And then the Rockies fell behind 3-2, and Cargo, who's due up 4th this inning, lost one to deep right center field. His 31st of the year, which ties him with Bryce Harper for the league lead. Reyes fouls this back.
Liriano only gave up 4 hits, but 2 of them were big flies, accounting for all 3 runs.
Reyes in battle mode here in the 8th. And that fastball at 93 is in tight. Tony Watson's a big, strong left-hander, 6'4", 225 pounds, out of the University of Nebraska. 07 9th-round pick of the Pirates. And this ball lined to center field. Get down. It will. A base hit for Reyes. So the Rockies have speed aboard in Jose with the leadoff knock in the 8th inning. And here comes LeMahieu. Try to build a run here, don't you?
You do. You can bunt, you can hit and run, whatever you want to do. But first, if you don't already receive Hot Rocks emails, you're missing out on the best ticket deals. The only way to receive them is to become a Rockies registered user at Rockies.com. Watson has a decent move to first. And that was just his show me move. But you know, I know you're over there. DJ studying down to Stu Cole.
20 stolen bases for Reyes. And that's perfect. In fact, just did get LeMahieu. Cervelli had to pick it up and float it. And he just did get it there in time. So a gorgeous bunt by DJ LeMahieu. And Reyes in scoring position with 1 out.
And he drops it on the edge of the grass. Cervelli had to throw it around DJ, and then the footwork of Alvarez.
So a chance to drive in the go-ahead run for Nolan Arenado. 92 RBIs, among the leaders in that department in baseball. Smoked the balls last time up, and Neil Walker made a leaping grab on. It's in there for a strike. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. Highest average, runners in scoring position. Andrew McCutcheon's #1. Nolan is #3 in the National League. Guys battling for the RBI lead. Paul Goldschmidt on that list. Goldschmidt right now has got 94 ribbies. He's coming into the night, he did.
We played Nolan almost straight up. Just a shade to right field.
There goes Reyes to third. Big swipe of the third base by Reyes. Huge bag. And now the infield will have to come in for Pittsburgh.
It's like what DJ did in the first inning by stealing third. 75th stolen base for the Rockies. 5th for Jose Reyes in the Rockies uniform. And that's the dynamic that he brings.
That's a big bag.
Well, now you just bring the infield in. So much more room for Nolan to do his thing.
And he's in a hitter's count, 2-1. When you took a walk when you got to 2 strikes in this situation, as Nolan just did, you thinking shorten up? What are you telling yourself?
You're telling yourself, see the ball, don't commit too early. I think that's what Nolan did. He just committed too early on that, but just slow it down. It was a better swing from Nolan, but he's done this too many times now, even as a 24-year-old. Think about how long he's played in the big leagues. He's been in these situations. You know, almost half of his RBIs have come with 2 strikes. All these other things that he's learned how to slow the game down now. You still have to remind yourself occasionally.
He has a home run off Tony Watson. 2-2. And this ball is hit to right. Coming on, Polanco. Here comes Reyes. Here comes the throw to the plate. Out at the plate. Polanco has nailed his 2nd base runner tonight. Couldn't have made a better throw.
Like what he did to Nick Conway this time to get Reyes at the plate.
And the Buccos, and let's put a wrap on this Fan Friday. We had people send us some photos of people they met, some players, and, you know, because got to go to the Roberto Clemente Museum on Thursday, which was a neat thing for me to see that. All right, we're going to wrap it up with this picture. This was Tamara and her brother. I remember this after the Wyoming game last year, our first Mountain West game. They called me over and we took a pic. Don't forget, Mountain West football starts here on Root Sports coming up Saturday, September the 5th. First game is at the Air Force Academy. They'll host Morgan State, and we'll have kickoff at 1:30 Mountain Time, and that'll get things going for football. That puts a wraps on another Fan Friday. Thanks for helping us out and playing along. Let's get it back to Drew and Jeff, guys.
Mark, thank you. Nice job as always with that Fan Friday. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 3-3 ball game, and Scott Oberg is on. 48th appearance for Scott. And he's been sharp in his last couple.
And that's why he's working the 8th inning, because that's what he's done his last 3 or 4 outings. And he's just trying to keep that bullpen string going. This is now working on their 5th consecutive games without allowing a run. Charlie Blackmon stayed in the ball game, as we referenced last half inning, in center field. Brandon Barnes slides over to left field. Kyle Parker comes out.
Neil Walker will be first in the bottom of the 8th inning. Walker 0 for 2. He was intentionally walked in the 3rd inning. And a better all-around second baseman in the game. And Walker takes strike 1 from Oberg. Neil leads all National League second basemen in home runs since the start of 2012 with 66. Drove in his 400th career run on Wednesday against the Marlins. That's fouled off.
Higher average hitting left-handed. All his home runs have come left-handed.
Good block. The Rockies have gone 18 2/3 now out of their bullpen without giving up a run. Their longest stretch in club history is 20 1/3 back in 2010. They went 20 straight in 2012. 2008 they had a stretch of 19 innings in a row. So this is the 4th longest shutout streak for a Rockies bullpen, which is interesting, and it's a big positive. But it's interesting because, you know, for a couple of months really all you talked about were the Rockies bullpen woes.
Back on Monday we talked about the bullpen and how they hadn't given up a run, you know, in back-to-back games for in over a month.
That's right. They're in a good place right now. Statistically still last in baseball. Strike 3 on Neil Walker. So Oberg has the first out here in the 8th, and that'll bring up Cervelli.
Just froze him with the fastball down.
I love it. It's Cervelli's walk-up song. That's amore.
That's a first.
I love it. I think that's awesome. Do we miss that earlier, or does he play just late in games?
No, he played it earlier. I noticed it. I didn't notice it his first at bat, but I did notice it his last at bat.
That's classic.
We only have a full moon tonight.
Yes, we do. 1-0 on Francisco Cervelli. 2-0. Cervelli, all those years, the backup catcher with the Yankees. He gets an opportunity to start here at Pittsburgh, and it's been a great bond for both he and the Pirate fans. I mean, he started 99 games now. He's the leading hitter of all catchers in baseball. Guy who came in with a .278 lifetime average.
Sometimes all it takes is somebody believing in you, giving you a chance to go out every day and play.
Next RBI will match his career high at 38, set in 2010 with the Yankees. Three and one. Cervelli played in the WBC for Italy a few years back. Dad was born in Italy. That made him eligible. And a walk with one out to Cervelli. Bring up Pedro Alvarez. Time for the CenturyLink link to what's next. Here's the matchup tomorrow. A couple of left-handers. Chris Russin for the Rockies. Jay Happ will go for the Pirates. Those are Happ's numbers, including his time in Seattle. Though in a Pirate uniform, he is 2-1 with a 2.08 ERA.
22 strikeouts in 21 2/3 inning.
Alvarez, 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts tonight. He takes ball 1. It's 2-0.
They got Pedro the first 3 times because they worked ahead. Got him to expand his strike zone. First 2 strikeouts were up. The last strikeout was away. All on fastballs.
Home run he hit last night, the 125th of his career. First career home run came off Kyle Kendrick. Obviously Kyle was with Philadelphia then.
Kyle is on the road trip.
Jordan Lyles on the road trip also. And Jordan will not pitch again in 2015. It's good to see him around the club. And
you just need to get out. You need to get out of the training room. It's in the same routine that you've been on.
And you know, it's so good of those guys to stand next to each other so we can get this shot. There's Ellis Burks further down on the left. Went in the weight room today to work out, and Ellis had bogarted all the weights. He's moving the entire weight room by himself.
Have to go out and wait till he's done and we go back in.
Exactly. Then everybody else gets to share. 3-1. And back-to-back walks by Oberg. And that'll bring up Jordy Mercer. 2 on, 1 out.
They're going to
Foster's coming out.
Pittsburgh's going to their veteran Aramis Ramirez. And Sean Rodriguez will run for for Alvarez.
Sean Rodriguez. This is kind of an interesting one, going with Aramis Ramirez for Mercer, because it's not a left-right deal. It's another right-handed bat. It's a veteran right-handed bat. Ramirez been one of the more productive offensive players the last decade and a half.
And that's why you do it. Pittsburgh had a late night last night coming from Miami. He got to bed around 3:30. So they're giving the veteran Ramirez the first part of the morning or evening off. But this isn't unusual for Clint. Clint will empty his bench. He makes a lot of moves from the 6th and 7th inning on.
And then he does things by gut, and it's worked out well for Clint. 17 ribbies in the first 27 games for Ramirez in his return to Pittsburgh. And then he takes a fastball at 95 for a strike. And the thing about Aramis also, I mean, this guy's been in the league for 18 years. He hits one on the ground.
Double play.
It's going to be a double play.
The only division he's played in is the National League Central. Pittsburgh, Chicago, and Milwaukee.
Pretty interesting, huh? 2 strikes on Ramirez.
Full circle for him. Started as a Pirate and is going to end as a Pirate. His last year in the big leagues. He's going to retire at the end of the season.
He's had a hell of a career. You think about it. 376 home runs as a third baseman. That's 5th on the all-time list of third basemen. Another guy active is in the top 5, Adrian Beltre. 0-2. That's another good block. And a huge block by Nick Hundley. Kept Cervelli from going to third base.
A curveball, when it hits the dirt, it's going to back up. So as a catcher, you're just anticipating where it might go. But it was in the other batter's box. Did you see how it kicked back to Nick's left side? Still has to try to roll the shoulders and knock it down.
One, two. This is line to Cargo and right. He'll make the catch. Cervelli will tag and move to third. 2 outs. First and third. And Josh Harrison will pinch hit.
Well, the only person left on the bench for Pittsburgh is Chris Stewart, the backup catcher.
Clint has one of the most versatile rosters in the game. One of the large reasons he does is because of this guy at the plate, Josh Harrison. Harrison can play virtually anywhere.
Yeah, he was an all-star because of that. Because he was playing so many different positions. You can run him to the outfield. He could play third, short, second. Some pressure on Nick when that curveball is called.
The fastball's fouled back by Harrison.
For 2 this year pinch hitting for Josh. Another guy that doesn't get many opportunities to pinch hit because he's in the lineup a lot, the everyday lineup.
Hard ground ball, right side, base hit. And Pirates have taken a 4-3 lead on a pinch single by Josh Harrison with 2 outs in the 8th. It is why he has become a huge crowd favorite here at PNC.
3 of the 4 runs Pittsburgh has scored tonight have come with 2 outs. Yeah, the run in the first, run in the third with 2 outs, and now run in the 8th. He didn't try to do too much with that pitch.
He got on top of a high fastball.
A high fastball, but he saw the hole over there. He looked like that's where he was trying to hit it the whole time because he fouled the ball off to the right side, back into the right.
Gregory Polanco's had a big night offensively and defensively. 2 for 4. Stolen base, scored 2 runs, single and a double. Nearly put them ahead in the 6th inning. Cargo made a lunging catch with the bases loaded, but he's thrown 2 guys out, including the Rockies' potential 4th run when he got Jose Reyes last half inning on the fly ball by Nolan Arenado.
Mix in a couple runs scored. Been an all-around game for Polanco.
We were talking to Clint before the game for a while. That misses. And asked him, overall, what's making this team special? He said, we just play team baseball. We play winning baseball and team baseball every night, and we're getting a glimpse of that tonight. It's not like one guy's hit a couple home runs tonight. They got a solid performance from Liriano. It's all the little things that have added up. The very good defense they've played tonight, the clutch hitting.
Well, that's how you win 77 games. You're not going to steamroll everybody with just a powerful offense or have a staff that's going to shut everybody out. Look at the role the Mets are on. You know, the pitching was carrying them for a while, but they're scoring a lot of runs now.
Yeah. And obviously broke the string of scoreless innings by the Rockies bullpen. They went 19 1/3 without giving up a run till that base hit by Josh Harrison. Runners will be off. It's 3-2 on Polanco. Sean Rodriguez pinch running for Pedro Alvarez, who walked, is at second. Josh Harrison's at first.
All you really need to know about that picture is Mark Melancon. The guy on the right, he's the closer. 41 saves.
The 3-2 upcoming. And that's a base hit up the middle. And that'll bring home Sean Rodriguez. Harrison will go to third. Polanco's third hit of the ball game, his 40th RBI. And it's a 2-run lead for the Pirates here in the bottom of the 8th. Boy, he's had a heck of a night.
Really coming into his own as a player. Singles back up the middle, driving a run, move another runner to third base. It's an RBI, 2-runs scored. And he's thrown out 2 base runners. Now you have to watch him stealing a base, which he already has another one of those tonight.
Fouled off by Marte.
Three runs or fewer in the major leagues. The Pirates 91, St. Louis 92. So they're used to playing in this atmosphere and environment.
Yep, very comfortable in it. We say that a lot about the Giants out west.
But once you play that many games in it, it doesn't feel like it's so tight or so claustrophobic where, oh, I'm at the plate, I got to. No, you're used to it.
Yeah, it's a nightly occurrence.
Just happens.
And you know what? To a certain degree, especially in the Rockies' strong years, the converse is true. The Rockies, this is a shattered bat that's going to die in the glove of Matt McBride. The Rockies are comfortable, you know, at times at home getting down by 3-4 runs early, saying that's not an issue. We can come back. Rockies need to come back here in the ninth. They're down 5-3. in March of 1985, and then he went to the U of A. And this year he has been terrific as the closer for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
It was 41 of 43 in saves. Those 41 saves are a career high for Mark, and he also shares the major league lead with Trevor Rosenthal in that number.
Some changes, multiple changes defensively to show you for the Pirates. At third base is Josh Harrison. Gong is moved from third to short. Sean Rodriguez comes in at first base. So it's basically a new infield. Neil Walker's got to introduce himself to everybody. Fellas, remember me?
Yeah, I'm the lone guy that started. We go with some defense at first with Rodriguez, who also pinch ran for Pedro Alvarez.
Rockies have Cargo, Hundley, and McBride. Down 5-3. Been out hit 10-5 tonight. First matchup of the year between the Rockies and Pirates. Cargo takes inside from Melanson.
Melanson's first pitch of choice is a cut fastball.
Cargo fouls it off out of play. He hit a monstrous home run in the 6th to tie it at 3. Just another example. We've talked so much about it. Cargo doesn't hit cheap home runs, and he doesn't hit blowout home runs typically, one way or the other. He hits meaningful home runs. He needs to get on base here somehow, some way. 1-1, and that's on the ground to Sean Rodriguez. 1 out.
Go in for defense, the ball will find you. It did for Sean Rodriguez. I mentioned the cutter for Melanson. He said he learned that from the guy that probably threw one of the greatest cutters ever, Mariano Rivera.
Well, he was with the Yankees. He was drafted originally in the 9th round by the Yankees. Came up with the Yankees in 09 and 2010. Did not start closing games until Houston 2011. And then the next year with Boston, he had only 1 save in 41 appearances. More of a setup guy. Hundley swings through the 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Nick nearly hit one out in the 6th inning. He hit a line shot off the very top of the Clemente wall, and it went right to Gregory Polanco, who fired to second. Nick slammed on the brakes about a third of the way to second, tried to get back to first, but Jordy Mercer threw to Alvarez to get him. So it was a single. It was your basic 350-foot singles that turned into an out. That's inside.
Crowd's oohing and booing, but it's well inside. Nick 2 for 2 lifetime against Mark.
Pitcher spot's 2 doors down. Rockies get a guy on, and this is not going to work here. We'll see Ben Paulson or Daniel Descalso. 2 outs, and Matt McBride coming up. Matt tonight, the strikeout, a ground out, and he fouled out to first. That pitch misses. Mark from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, back east.
The thing that makes Melanson so challenging is he can throw that cutter inside or outside. It doesn't have to be just half the plate.
Chris Caccione saw something.
Oh, there was a flag that was being waved down the line over the railing.
In the air to deep center field. McCutchen going back will make the grab, and that ends the ball game. The Pirates win it 5-3 with a 2-run 8th inning against Scott Oberg. The Pirates improved to 78-49 in that competitive National League Central. The Rockies with the loss fall to 51-75. Tony Watson gets the victory. Oberg takes the loss, and it's save number 42 for Mark Melanson, who worked a 1-2-3 ninth for Clint Hurdle. Time for our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. And a couple of directions we could have gone in, but the work of Mr. Polanco tonight, offensively and defensively, 3 for 5, scored 2 runs, drove 1 in, stolen base, and that throw that prevented the Rockies from going up 4-3, cutting down Jose Reyes. Gregory Polanco played a terrific ball game tonight. Again, the Pirates in game 1 of this 3-game set have defeated the Rockies 5-3 at PNC Park. We go west to our Root Sports studios in Denver. Here's Jenny and Spilly. Guys?